Hello YouTube and hello Ninth Age community. This is Charles at Ricochet Gaming and I've got another Ninth Age battle report. A few weeks ago, back in early October, I got to host a gaming day at a local store around me. Ran a 3-game one-day tourney. Had a bunch of players come out from Michigan and got to play against Saurian Ancients. So let's just jump right into the game. I'm going to put the lists in the comments section of the video. This is the board we're playing on. I've got some water, a field in the middle, a ruin in the back, a couple impassables, and a hill and a forest. Here's my deployment. Better kind of shot right here. Miss a little bit of the monsters on the flank. So I got my Kraken in the water on the left. I've got some auxiliaries next to them. I've got my Judicators next to them with my Temple Exarch, who's my general. He's running Alchemy. I've got 5 Dark Riders and 15 more auxiliaries behind them. My 2 Chariots, my block of 25 Spears with my BSB and my Cosmo Master block Outcast. Then I've got my Beastmaster on a Dragon and my Hydra next to him. And here is my opponent's deployment. So he's got, starting from the left and going to the right, he's got a unit of 8 Saurus Cav. He's got 10 raptors in a raptor pack. He's got a big unit of Tegu warriors with the champion upgrade, and he's got a Tegu veteran in there. He's got the Glory of the Dawn Age, and I believe a solid armor save, like a 1-up armor save. He's got 2 swarms flanking his unit Tegu guard with his Cayman elders in it, and his frog. So that's definitely a big, juicy unit in the middle. The frog is running Alchemy and Pyro. It's got the Koru Stone, which at the time of recording this has actually been eliminated from the book, but it was an item that made the commanding presence 12 inches in the unit instead of 8 inches. And then he's got 3 Dyroscutus Herd, and they all have great bows, which terrified me. And then he's got 20 Skinks and a ranked up unit with a champion, so they've got the... the Fountain of Youth, which is also completely changed at the time of writing this. Just, the Fortitude. And he's got a Skink on a Pterodon that has the bow that when you shoot it, the same things that shoot at the same time as you, get +1 strength if he, I think he just has to hit with his bow. And then he's got 10 Skink skirmishers from Core 2 with blowpipes. Or, no, javelins, sorry. So I vanguard my fast cav up to be in the field right here, and then I dropped early for turn one, and I just kind of pushed right for it. I wanted to start being able to control the center, and I felt like my Judicators were fairly strong in this matchup, and I didn't really feel like there was much that could really take them on. Maybe the bigger units could outgrind them, but I even felt that if I could get the Judicators in with something else that I might be able to outgrind them, actually. There's just a lot of damage that comes out of that small unit. Push my monsters up as aggressively as I can, and then really push my dragon up. I really just wanted to get him into combat. I was really terrified of just the shooting output from those bows. They just seemed so brutal. So I kind of put myself right in front of them, but I was kind of hoping to be able to get him, maybe the Hydra, maybe even the Chariots all in there. So we'll see how that goes. I get Unity Divergence up to give myself a 5-up Aegis save at least. That might help a little bit. Do a little shooting over here. I don't think I do any damage with them. And then going into my opponent's turn 1, he just moves up his Saurus a little bit. He does charge the Raptors into the Dark Riders. And, he doesn't really have to move a whole lot. He moves his Skink Skirmishers to, be out of the charge arc of the dragon, and he's going to javelin them, try and get some poison. Yeah, he's just moving up slightly on his one of his flanks, but that's about it. He does 3 wounds on one of my Chariots. I want to say this is Molten Copper. And I think he gets 1 poison javelin through that does a wound, and I want to say 1 great bow does a single wound too. So, not terrible. Could have killed the dragon in 1 shot. So, it's still there. And he wins over here. He decides to not pursue. And I only flee like 4 inches. So, I'm just right about there. So, not great. Not the end of the world, hopefully. So on my turn 2, I charge my Kraken into his. I actually think first what I did was I charged my Chariot into his Saurus Cav. We looked at it, and I could just kind of move forward, wheel, get past my Dark Riders, and make it into his flank. So he decided to flee from that. And I think then I attempted to charge my Kraken into his Raptors, and I ended up redirecting the Chariot into the Raptors, and I only made it in with the Chariot. It's a bit risky, but I was hoping I could. I only got one wound left with that Chariot, but I was hoping I could withstand and possibly, just possibly, be able to do it. So we'll see. And then I did attempt to charge the Hydra and the Chariot into the Thyroscutus herd, but I only made it into the Dragon, which was not great. I think I missed the Hydra by 1. If the Hydra had come in, I think that would have been a very tasty combat. The Hydra really wouldn't have provided a lot of combat res. It would have just provided the rank I needed to possibly beat through that unit. Yep, so here we are after failed charges. And I'm not really sure what that dice roll is for, but there's a dice roll. I think I'd just kind of ping some shots at the Tegu guard. I might kill like 1 or something like that with the Selexian auxiliaries. Not a whole lot. We go to combat, and oh man, it was pitiful. Bad dice on my part, and a couple like cheeky 6-up fortitude saves on a skink guy. I went in there and realized I just felt like I didn't really have a whole lot of chance to kill a Thyroscutus in one round. So I just was thinking, at the very minimum, I should just get rid of the skink. I should have issued a duel. Or you know what? I think I did issue a duel, and he declined it. And I was like, oh, I'm still just going to put all my attacks into him. And I only able to put 2 wounds on him between the dragon and that. I think I used my breath weapon this turn, too. And I think I get like 6 hits or something like that. And I get to put like 2 on the skink, and I get a wound, and he makes like an armor save. It was just not great. So I take 1 hit, I think 1 wound from, I think the skink, but I think he wasn't supposed to attack. Something does a wound. It's not a crush attack. I win combat by like 1, and he just kind of barely passes his steadfast check. So that could have been very good if he just failed that. I think he was within range of his BS. It doesn't, or yeah, his BSB is his. He doesn't have a BSB, but he has the BSB's ability on his Tegu guard unit. I'm not sure if they're within range. I think they are. They're pretty close to each other. Yeah, they are. So he had a reroll. Most likely was going to pass it. So we are just kind of stuck like that. And then over here, unfortunately, the Chariot, I feel like it just, the impact tests were low. I think I missed a wound here and there. So I only kill 5 before he gets a strike, and he's able to do the final wound. I needed to pass 2 armor saves, and I only passed 1. So bit of a bummer, but he does take me out there. And then I actually fail a panic check too. This I think was what I think was a little foreshadowing. Everybody, it's going to cost me the game essentially because I just the Chariot was within 6 inches of my adjudicators. Everything else around it passes. The Dark Riders don't care. I think one of the auxiliary units within range, they don't care. But my adjudicators fail 2 Discipline 9 checks and just flee, which was rough. So actually, start of his turn 2, he pushes them again with the Raptor Pack. We kind of looked it up, and he was just able to fit through there. He makes me flee again, and then he redirects into my Dark Riders. And is going to blow them up. And then he chaffs my Kraken with his skink. He's chaffing my Chariot and Hydra with one of his Saurian swarms, and he moves up his Tegu guard block a bit. Not too fast because they're maroon, but he does move aggressively. I think at this point I was able to get 1 point on the objective, which was helpful. He puts, not Children of Umi, but he puts Enlightenment on the dragon. He boosts it, so it's -1/-1, which is just really tough. And then we go into the shooting. Not a whole lot coming out of these skinks. Magic was actually pretty tame that round too. And then we go into combat, and the crush attack just hits and connects and does max wounds. So, yeah, I mean, it was bound to happen. I needed it to be in 1 round, and unfortunately, the dragon couldn't do it by itself. And the worst part too is, again, I just whiff with my Beastmaster, who gets to go before, and the dragon, they both whiff, and I can't even kill his skink before I die. So really bad use of points, bad use of model. Going on my turn 3, it's looking pretty bleak. I do rally my Judicators. I charge the Kraken at the Skink. He's actually just a little Skink veteran, but I do charge him. And yeah, I think that's mainly it. Or I think I charged the Chariot maybe at the Swarms. That sounds about right. I can't remember. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just let him zoom. I do get Touch of the Heart off to kill his Skink veteran. That's right. I did charge the Chariot, and I killed one Swarm, and then I just reformed to face the Tegu Guard. So what the board is looking like at the end of turn 3. Not a whole lot happened for me. I just shuffled to be as close as I could to the objective, so that he had to come fight all of my my scoring units. Which he does attempt to charge. He charges the Tegu Guard and the Chariot. I flee, get away, and then he attempts to redirect into my spears, and he fails that charge. So it was pretty far. I want to say it was like it was over 13 inches. I don't want to say he needed a 9 or a 10 on the dice. Yep, there's my fleeing Chariot, and then he just brings a couple other things over. So he was able to charge my Kraken with his Saurus Cav. And then, yeah, he's just getting really close. We go into the shooting phase. Not a whole lot happens. Or actually, sorry. This is getting before the magic phase. So he gets Flaming Swords on over here. It was kind of between Flaming Swords and the strength buff, which includes extra AP, so had to let something go. And I want to say this is maybe like a Quicksilver Lash, does a wound or two to the Hydra. And he gets a lightning off on the Kraken, just brutal. And then the Great Bows open up and they shoot the Hydra off the board, which was really rough. I just feel like I'm losing pieces left and right at this point. Yeah, I've totally missed. I've totally missed my most of my turn. So looking back, go back to the wider shot of everything. He just blows through the Kraken in one round. Just hits really well, wounds it really well. I can't make any saves. I don't have any saves I think I just have 6s. I don't make any armor saves. Yeah, he just takes me out in one round, which I think it was just a combination of good dice and good use of spells. I think I kill 1 or 2. I'm only hitting on force with the Kraken, unfortunately. So I decide to just turn my left unit of auxiliaries, and I'm able to move 5. I get out of range of the big block of Tegu warriors, and I just get right in the face of his Saurus Cav. I'm going to shoot them, and then I'm going to let them charge me and just hope I can maybe outgrind them. It's not a great fight. And then I charge my other unit auxiliaries at his Saurian Swarm. My goal is to just overrun in the Tegu Guard and hold them up for another round. That was, I feel like the best I could do with the tools I had at this point, because things were just getting less and less. So yeah, here's a shot of these guys, and I think I have a good round of shooting here. Looks like I might kill 3, so that was pretty good. Still going to be a lot to grind through because they have a good armor save, and I think I had a shot in my magic phase. The only thing I'm able to get off is the hereditary spell. So nothing too big really, which is a good spell, but not quite enough. I am able to finally push up my Judicator, so they are within 6 inches of the center of the board again. So we're kind of I was able to get, I believe, one. I think I ended up getting 2 points throughout the game, but we were also I was taking a long time to play this game since I was also running a tournament. So this is going into my opponent's turn 3. He makes not a super long charge, but I think he needed like a 8 on the dice to get his Tegu warriors in combat with my spears. And he makes it. It's a good fight for him. He should be able to outgrind me there. And he's just got so much magic too. And yeah, this is kind of speeding up pictures, but I was able to sort of hold off the Tegu warriors for a turn with my my core spears, but he does end up killing me in the end. The 4 Saurus Cav run down the 15 auxiliaries. I just, I'm doing plenty of wounds. I just can't get him to roll 1s on his armor saves. And my Chariot took out the unit of the the skink skirmish, or not skirmish with the light troops, and then I think just took a took a charge at the Thyroscutus herd just to see what we could get. And I do charge the Judicators at the big unit of Tegu Guard and Cayman Elders, and that one was quite intense actually. I kill almost all the Tegu Guard, all but two. Just really, I mean, gosh, when you have hatred and battle focus on a unit that's strength 5 plus 1 to win all the time and AP 4, you're going to kill a lot of these models. So, and we actually won this combat too. He was stubborn and he had a reroll. So, or Body Iron had a reroll. So almost could have gotten some crazy glory there, but there's kind of a lot to ask. So this game ends up wrapping up a 4-16 for myself, which was fair because. Andrew played it really well. He had a very solid list. Again, his list has actually changed quite dramatically at this point, but not super well. I'm going to kind of put in the comments the differences that happened between his lists. And since we played this in a version of the alpha that, just ended on a Thursday last week, November 24th. So a little bit different, but otherwise, very well played game. That magic phase just still so powerful from the honor arc, and Andrew knows how to sling the spells around. So thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this battle report, and we'll see you soon for some more 9th Age content.